That is not your typical song heard from Central High. New at 10 tonight, Memphis's Central High School and school district speaking out after Central's band says it was told it could not play at a varsity game this past Friday in Brighton, Tennessee. Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. Now, parents are looking for answers, criticizing the school and wondering if it tried to silence Central's band. Let's get straight out to WRG's Brian Didlake, who has been digging into this story all day long. And Brian, did you ever find out why Central didn't play as usual?
So that answer is still unclear right now, Greg, but we did speak.
Bro took a big breath. He wasn't ready, I guess. Okay, there you go. Oh, sorry. That stood out to me like a sore thumb.
With parents and students on and off camera, each person telling me this all started after learning Central High's band could not perform, citing that they heard it could be a distraction or being too loud for Central High's band.
Okay, so being too loud. You know, I really think that we're in a position right now. I really think we got to have this come to Jesus moment, right? For high schools, for universities, I feel like we're trying to keep certain traditions that were relevant in certain times, but things have changed and we're refusing in certain areas to change over with them, right? This is what I mean. We are having these kids who are involved in these band programs practicing on massive amounts of time, minutes, hours, whatever, throughout the week. But then they get to the game and then they're told that they can't play. They're told that they're too loud. I don't really get that concept. Not anymore, right? And let me be clear. When I was in band, we played all the time. We played before the snap, after the snap, during timeouts. More often than not now, that's not necessarily what you're seeing at a lot of schools, high schools and colleges. And that bothers me because band went in and of itself and the culture of band, whether you're talking about traditional style marching band or even core style, because some core style bands are playing more urban music. They're doing more, I guess you want to call it, entertaining things. And because of that, the culture of band itself is shifting. And I feel like, and it's really interesting to me in the fact that we refuse to shift with it because of the fact that it's football. Like, listen. This is one thing that I don't think people understand. I get that football, athletics specifically, but football in general, football specifically, but athletics in general, is the moneymaker. I get all that. I understand all of that, right? But we're also now in an age where band is not necessarily a lame person thing anymore. Like, I remember a time when being in band, you were lame. You were probably a geek or whatever. Like, the band geek thing was a big thing. But that's not necessarily a thing anymore. Like, people will enjoy being in band. Parents come to games to see their kids perform, specifically if you have a good band. It's not just about the football atmosphere, more or less in more, urban, black, schools of color, so on and so forth. It ain't just about football. And I don't understand why we haven't made any changes or we're refusing to make changes for that. But then we run into these questions and problems when we're talking about situations like this, or when we're talking about an AD who refuses to see that band is part of the culture as it relates to a football game. And I want to be very clear because I think somebody said it on one of my comments. I still believe in the fact that the band is supposed to be there for the cheering squad of the football team. That does not dissolve the band of being entertaining or being able to play. Like, I don't understand how the two things can't be mutually, I can't understand how the two things can't run together. Like, they can't be in the same conversation. We are there to cheer to cheer the team on, but we have to play in order to do that. So let us play and get out of the way. Like I don't understand how the DJ, and I'm going back on the old conversation to bring it back to this. I don't understand how the DJ is a better fit for the band that's supposed to be there to play music, to cheer, and you give the DJ space to play, but then all of a sudden you don't really give the band to play. Why don't you just give the band the availability to play, cut the DJ out, and they can still do the same thing? And then when you look at situations like this, most of these high school programs are only following suit from what they're seeing in college. But anyway, let's keep going.
It was Central's response that made the social media saying that they showed up, but not with your typical instruments.
Practice resuming as usual Monday. The sound of Memphis Central High's marching band was booming. But that boom was a buzz on Friday night when that big brass sound was replaced by kazoos at Central's game against Brighton.
It was explained that they didn't want us to play at first, so because of that, we weren't going to be playing our instruments, we were going to be playing on kazoos.
Ladarius Brown plays baritone and says that's what he was told when he learned he and his bandmates would not be allowed to take the field at their school's away game at Brighton High School.
I was kind of upset. I'm like, we're playing on kazoos, and I want to play on my instrument.
Central High's response led its marching band to perform without instruments. WREG.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Get out there and make noise. Make the noise. Show the people, show the team, show everybody that what you're doing is just as valuable in that particular setting as the game. It's a part of the game now. I don't understand how we are glossing over this fact.
Reached out to Tipton County Schools for comment. Its superintendent, Dr. John Combs, responded in part, the district office here in Tipton has not engaged with any schools in Shelby County or elsewhere to ban activity from neighboring bands. The district pointed to Brighton High's administration, saying this was a conversation between principals. The district going on to praise Central High's band. But back at Memphis Shelby County Schools, the district addressing the situation, standing with Central High's band. It said, while Brighton High's administration expressed concerns about sportsmanship, it is important to note that there is no TSSAA rule restricting bands from playing during live game action. Interim Superintendent Dr. Richmond going on to say he is open to constructive dialogue.
It's kind of disheartening, but I love how they handled it. He definitely rises to the occasion.
Central parents applauding how Central High handled the situation.
So basically, it was a conversation between the principals. I'm going to be honest. Shame on y'all, principals. Shame on y'all. Because it needs to be, y'all should have had an understanding that those are students. Those students practice just as much or as hard as that football team, and they deserve the right to be able to perform. I really don't, I don't get that. I don't get that. You should be riding for the students as much as possible to allow them to perform. Maybe I heard that wrong. Y'all tell me inside the comment section if I heard that wrong.
It means the world to us, and we're going to stand by them. So if that means just making sure they can show up and still be present, that's what it means.
Brown says in the end, he and his bandmates still had fun, which is what it's all about.
When we seen their school, we was like hyping ourselves up to do the best we can and to facing against whatever come.
Now, at the guidance from Tipton County Schools, we did reach out to Brighton High School asking why Central was not able to perform that night. At this time, we have not heard back, but we will get back to you on air and online at WR.
You know you ain't gonna. The reason why they ain't gonna hear back, you're not gonna hear back from them, is because of the fact that they knew that they was wrong. They made a decision in a moment that they thought was a smart decision, and now they're in the best words that I can put, reaping what they sow, and then now they have to be able to justify it and explain it. Listen, I don't understand why the culture refuses to shift as it relates to football. First of all, and I've always had this argument, and all of my football folks, if you are a band person who played football or a football person who then got banned, or if you worked in football, I need for y'all to answer this question. Why is the band making noise such a big thing? Like if the ultimate goal is to not only win games, but hopefully to get some of your kids or get your kids into the league, right? And I even think about this on a university level. In the league, there's nobody telling anybody to be quiet. If the stadium is loud, the stadium is loud. The football players still have to learn how or work and play through that. So why is it a thing that in high school level and even university level that now everything has to be quiet in order for them to hear, but then if they make it to the league, nobody's telling the crowd to shut up? And you're talking about a crowd of over 30, 40,000, 50,000 people who are yelling to the top of their lungs, excited to watch the game. But apparently, it's just impossible with university and high school ears in order for these kids to hear. Like, I don't get that concept. But at the end of the day, I still believe that culture has shifted, and we got to make sure that we're shifting with it. That shouldn't happen to these students. That shouldn't happen to any students. And honestly, it shouldn't be happening on a university level either. These kids should be allowed to play. These kids should be able to perform and do what they're supposed to do. But you guys tell me inside of the comment section, what's your thoughts on this high school program, Central High School being basically shut down for their performance, man? I want to see all your thoughts inside of the comment section. Outside of that, man, don't forget you can stop at our store, get anything you want. You can get 30% off your final purchase. Just type in HBCU Band, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think inside the comments, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.